Ukrainian President Zelenskyy said his country is ready to join NATO as he arrived at a summit of European leaders in Moldova today. And as the war in Ukraine continues, the U.S. announced that it will send another $300 million worth of military aid to Kyiv. But there's one thing the U.S. doesn't want Ukraine to do with it.
We have been very clear with the Ukrainians. Privately, we've certainly been clear publicly that we do not support attacks inside Russia. And we do not enable and we do not encourage attacks inside Russia. We certainly don't want to see attacks inside Russia that are being propagated, that are being conducted using U.S. supplied equipment.
CBS News foreign correspondent Debora Patta is following all of the latest from Kyiv for us. Deborah, we should sort of remind people that Ukraine says they have nothing to do with the attacks that we've been seeing inside Russia, and who is responsible, we sort of don't yet know. But in regards to this new package announced from the United States, what's going to be part of this military aid?
Well, another big boost for Ukraine with this $300 million package in military aid. It includes weapons and other military equipment for Kyiv. For example, ammunition for drones, which you know has been a huge part of this war, and long-range artillery. It also includes, very importantly, additional munitions for the Patriot air defense system supplied by the U.S. and other air defense systems, which together have been playing a crucial role in intercepting Russian aerial threats. But as you heard, there came with that very strong warning: the weaponry cannot be used for attacks inside Russia. There have been a number of strikes in Russia's Belgorod region, which Russian partisans have claimed responsibility for. And earlier this week, we saw a flurry of drones over Moscow, which is really the first time the war has been brought to the doorstep of Vladimir Putin since the invasion began. And, you know, all of this happens in the context of a looming counteroffensive, which Ukraine has been getting ready for some time now. We don't obviously have a date for that. As you know, Ukraine loves the element of surprise, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, very true. So in regards to this summit that's happening of 50 European leaders in Moldova, NATO ministers are also gathering today in Norway. What will Ukraine be seeking to get from these meetings?
Well, it's a very important meeting because it has been attended by members from 47 different European nations. It is a meeting of the European political community, and it brings together leaders from the European Union nations and other European countries, where it's hoped really to bolster the continent's united response to Vladimir Putin's aggression in Ukraine. And the choice to hold the summit in Moldova is important. If you think that it was a former Soviet state, and there really is a strong message being sent to the Kremlin from both the EU and the pro-Western Moldovan government, which received EU candidate status in June last year at the same time as Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy at that meeting, and he has repeated what he has been saying all along, that Ukraine is ready to be in the NATO military alliance. Now, while that meeting takes place in Moldova, the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, is attending an informal NATO meeting in Norway to prepare for the next big summit of NATO, which will be in July. And that is where Ukraine's membership will be debated, Anne-Marie.
All right, Deborah, thank you very much.